Hello and welcome back, my wonderful tome readers. Oh, one sec. Sorry, my mic was very far away there. But welcome back, my wonderful tome readers, as we start another visual novel game, which looks like it's flickering in OBS. What's going on there? It wasn't earlier. That's weird. Does anyone else see that? Literally, without stream, it was fine. Let me see.
Perhaps some adjustments are in order.
What's... I'm not sure what's going on. Is this my system? I was like, let me try something real quick. Just closing down some things, hopefully free up resources. What's going on with... Oh, please be happy, can't even be seen? What is going on, system? One sec. Task manager. What is sucking up resources right now? Jeebus, this game takes a lot. Let me try opening this a different way, because it said when I opened it there were multiple methods I could do so, and I just did the default. Because I did not think default would be so resource hungry. Good lord. Computer was running at 91% memory there. And without that, it has dropped down to 37. Jeebus, that is insane. First, let me see. Anything else I can preemptively just... Yeah, no, don't need that running in the background. Alright, that I should do for those. We're going to keep that open so I can see opening in different styles. Open with OpenGL. Let's see. Okay. The game window's coming up the same size at least. Ooh. Oh, wow, okay. I should reduce the maximum volume. Let's do that via the volume mixer. Go put it right in the middle, because I know the volume's already been lowered in-game. Yeah, this is a visual novel. I don't see why I would need that many resources. Minecraft doesn't take that much out of my system. But yeah, we're playing this wonderful little visual novel. It's got voice acting, which is new. Alright. Volume seems good. Alright. Yeah, no, that's way better in terms of resources. Good lord, why is the default so resource hungry? Gosh. Well, let's do another quick check. There's that. Okay, so we can adjust character voices. Interesting. Yeah, I don't see what settings could have caused it to need that much friggin' memory. Wow. But yeah. So I've been told, and partially seen, it has been like better part of a year since I've seen a streamer do any part of this. So I should not be spoiled of it at this point. But it is a romance-based visual novel in which our character, this fox girl, has a choice of one of two love interests. This very princely-looking outfit one on the right, or I believe she's a librarian here on the left. Like I said, I don't remember too much, but I've been told it's the sort of story I would like, considering some of the other stories and games I like. So we're going to play this on stream, and we should be able to do much longer streams as well with it, seeing as it is voice acted. At least mostly voice acted. I'm sure there's going to be side characters without, or something. Yeah. It's supposed to be a good, chill time. With a title like Please Be Happy in These Trying Times, what? I just noticed my chat is missing. What is going on? Okay, let's try and fix that real quick. What was it? It was browser source, I think. Yes. Chat. It's there, then comes... There, I think. Now we'll put it correct layer. No, that's not. There we go. Yeah, it's a lot of issues out of nowhere today. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into. Oh, one other thing for those of you who are not like in the Discord or follow me on Blue Sky. This isn't like saying go do that, but I will be having a roommate. Several roommates moving in the next week. That should not affect my schedule, but it will mean there may be some times when people interrupt midstream and I gotta like stop and address them really quick. So apologies in advance for that, and thank you for your patience in those moments. And additionally, what was the right? And I have been doing some writing. I'll go ahead and toss a link here in the chat. I don't think I'm going to do it for the VOD, though. You'll have to come check out the Discord or something, but I'm practicing some longer form writing. An old Ruby fic that I had an idea for a while ago. Oh, it's doubling up now. What's going on with chat? But yeah. It's an idea I had a while ago, and I'm finally acting on it, because I've done, like, writing for little scenes or travels that I haven't, like, published anywhere. Because I don't like how my dialogue comes out. It's tough for me to do, both sides of a conversation. It's easy for improv and tabletop games with my players, but this is another thing. I spent too many years focusing on art skills I didn't really want to please someone I don't interact with because they were a piece of shit, just to make them happy. Years I wish I could have spent on writing. So this project is something for me to get some more practice on that, both in dialogue and longer term plots, without, well, something like the fantasy party I've got my players whose actions could change plans I have down the road. Yeah, now, without further ado, let's get into this nice, chill visual novel about a bunch of girls who love girls.
New beginnings are exciting, don't you say?
Fog settled over the forest, far from the villages and towns, and with it came silence. Birch trees shivered. Why is it muted? Oh, there it is. It's just coming in real quiet. Birch trees shivered, pondering the weather, and dropped their leaves in fright. Streams bubbled, unseen by man, and babbled like birds in the trees. In the middle of the forest was a grove. In the middle of that grove was a log. It had been years since it had fallen, once one of the proudest trees around, and now in death was home to an abundance of life. A line of frantic ants ran to and fro. Mushrooms, cloud-like and pillowy, sprouted across one side like a footpath for fairies. Nearby, an old toad flopped contentedly in the mud. And inside the deep, damp hollow of the tree, something slept. A traveler strolled into the grove. Their steps were slow and tired, and they spotted the log with relief, like greeting an old friend. Weary from the day's journey, the traveler sat to take a rest. Whoosh! With a scrabbling of nails on rotten wood, a shadow bolted from inside the log to the tall grass nearby. The traveler watched the brush rustle as a faint patch of fur appeared within. "Hello there, friend. I didn't mean to disturb you." They held their hand towards the grass, offering a piece of dried fish. First, there was no reaction. And then, first a snout appeared, quivering as it tested the air. Then followed the rest of the fox, sleek and tawny, as she took several slow steps forward. Her amber eyes were alight with mistrust, but also with wild, wild curiosity. The stranger sat unfazed, their offering still outstretched. They dared to meet the fox's eyes, and in that glance felt something kindred. As the fox closed her jaws around the gift, a bond was made. "Maybe we aren't so different, you and I." The traveler returned the next day, and the day after that. Each day they brought some treat for their new friend. Each day the fox's steps grew a little more trusting. One day, when the traveler arrived, the fox was sitting in the clearing, waiting patiently.
Hello, my friend. Have you been waiting long?
The fox peered up at the traveler. Her amber eyes were warm and trusting. She accepted her gift of meat, gnawing it at the traveler's feet then and there. The traveler sat, imprinting into their mind the feeling of the wood beneath them, the clean air around them, and the tender bond of companionship.
Where is your home, little fox? Is it here in this grove? Or do you come to see me too?
Let's see, can I do a quick save just in case? We're gonna turn up the speaking volume. I don't know if it's because they are whispering specifically or all the voices that low. Wait, how do I... Oh, return.
This will be the last time, I'm afraid. Because I'll be going home tomorrow. Home is such a small place compared to the rest of the world. Yet, it's some place I can't wait to return to. I wish I could bring you with me, little friend. I wish that you could see the world too. Your home is all around me though, isn't it? It's wherever the trees are, wherever the leaves fall. Little fox, perhaps it's you who's the more fortunate of the two of us.
So I'm almost tearing up already at that. Talking of homes is hard nowadays. All too soon, it was time for the traveler to go. As they bade goodbye to the forest and to the fox, they knew that they would not return, but that they would carry the memories with them always. The next day, the fox was sitting in the clearing, waiting patiently. Chapter 1, The Foxes and Fables. I do like the symmetry of the fox, because it goes quite well with the subtle asymmetry that's growth around it. Like, there are these big loops on each side, but one is skinnier and droops down longer than the other. The little patches of plants or leaves in the back here, both present, same colors, but one side heavier than the other. It's good.
You've now docked at Wellington Skyport. Thank you for flying with Kiwi Airlines, and we hope to see you again.
Ah, yes, Kiwi Airlines, New Zealand. Wonderful place, I hear. The intercom's announcement is muffled in the closet where I'm hiding, just like the clatter of the seatbelts and the chattering of passengers getting ready to disembark. I wiggle around impatiently, sore from crouching in here for... I don't even know how long it's been. Hours for sure. The last few minutes always feel like they take the longest. The parade of footsteps begin to pass by outside my door. It's time. listen carefully, waiting for a gap in the crowd. And when it comes, I stand up and push the door open in a single movement. Give a wink to the shocked-looking lady that stepped out in front of. She doesn't even have time to gasp before I'm out of her sight. Humans. They're always kind of slow. I nod at the smiling flight attendant as I pass her by and then throw up my hood to cover my face and check what's going on with the captions real quick. Does that work? Is that fixed? Okay, good. It's been a while since I last flew, but it doesn't seem like things have changed much. It's always been harder to sneak on than it is to sneak off. I follow the crowd to the end of the walkway and step out onto the ground. After a long stretch, I take a deep breath and savor the fresh air after being stowed away for so long. Wellington Skyport, New Zealand.
I made it.
We need to turn the master volume up. And we'll test it over here.
I like sugar. I like sugar. Coffee and ice cream and cookies are all good.
Alright, that's a cute little test phrase to have for her character. She sounds a lot more giddy than I remember. My breathless voice joins the pleasant hum of the skyport. A few clouds drift lazily overhead, almost within arm's reach. The sound of the waves rolling onto the shore like a lullaby makes me want to burrow into the sand and take a nap. But I can't. First, I need to get out of here. There's one more challenge ahead. Up ahead, the snaking line of passengers splits as people are funneled into a few security stations. Well, I'm too far back to hear what the guards are saying. It looks like they're examining a little booklet from each traveler before letting them pass. Humans sure like processes and procedures. I definitely don't have a booklet like that. Glancing around, I hope to find another way out. An open window would work, or even an unguarded exit. I'm pretty sneaky when I need to be. Unfortunately, looks like the only way to leave is to go through security. Without any other option, I join one of the lines and prepare myself. I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. The lines move briskly as passengers are cleared one after the other, and I'm almost at the front of the queue before I know it. As the passenger in front of me approaches the booth, I listen closely.
Good afternoon. Passport, please.
Right here. It's good to be home.
I'm sure. Welcome back.
She stamps something in the man's booklet and then hands it back to him. He continues on out of the skyport.
Next.
That's me. I don't know what they do to people without any papers, but I don't want to find out. I'm sure it involves lots of questions, being escorted around, and other unpleasant stuff. Casually approaching the gate, I put on my brightest, friendly smile while keeping a slight distance. With my breathing steady and tail calm, I'm sure I put on a convincing act.
Passport, please.
Of course.
I fumble around my pockets, pretend to look for my passport. Instead, I grab the useless, clunky phone that I've been carrying around, let it clatter to the ground at the guard's feet. As expected, she bends down to retrieve it for me,
Oh, let me get that for you.
and I make a run for it, bolting ahead and rushing past security booths as quickly as I can.
Hey, you wait.
Oof.
Stop!
By the time they realize what's happened, I already have a few seconds head start. My inhuman speed, combined with the natural chaos of the skyport, should also buy me a bit of time. Still, I've got to get them off my tail. Oh, okay. So I guess it's gonna be, we can go to different areas from this map later. It's a nice little area, probably a decent sized town considering how tight these roads are. Maybe some larger, like either apartment complexes, like some internal park things, or parking lots. And this is all much, it's a different scale than I expect. I'm not seeing anything that looks like an obvious river. So main water is this coastline. And ooh, docks. Actually, wait, if this is the airport, this has got to be a lot larger scale than I'm thinking of, because does not look like a lot of area for a airport. Dashing through the skyport doors and out into the road outside, I don't even have time to take in the city. Without stopping for breath, I run into the narrow streets while weaving between cars and shocked bystanders. Being seen by so many people like this is annoying, but it won't matter by tomorrow. Putting thought out of my mind, I vault over a low wall into a nearby alley and land in a crouch, out of sight, but for only a moment. I close my eyes and relax my muscles. All feeling disappears except a slight warmth against my neck. My secret weapon. The unremarkable looking necklace is one of my only possessions, and by far the most important. A certain one of the beads strung around my neck begins to heat up in response to my will, a soothing warmth flowing through my body. My hands and feet begin to morph first, the fur chasing at my arms and legs as they distort and shorten. The sensation was so bizarre the first few times I tried. It's amazing how it's become second nature by now. Close my eyes, I let my body and head shift in turn. The face is always a little uncomfortable, my once human face changing and lengthening into a snout with some difficulty. Process complete. After only a few seconds, I open my eyes not as a human, but as a fox. I dart away without waiting, far quicker on 4 legs than I ever could be on 2. Obstacles like the stack of garbage cans ahead would be a pain to get past as a human, but instead I'm able to flip between the gaps without slowing down.
That car! I know it!
Sounds like the security guard hasn't given up on me yet. Pick up the pace, running as fast as my paws will take me. But yeah, from what little we've seen in the setting so far, are animal people a common occurrence? Especially transforming between an animal-human form. Her heavy breathing gets farther and further away, and in just a minute or two, I know I'm safe. I don't know where I am, but just like not like I knew where I was when I started running. I almost feel bad for the lady who was chasing me. She never stood a chance. Even in the crowded city streets, there's no way anyone or anything can outrun me. The wind just wishes it could keep up with me. Comfortable that the danger's past, I slip into another alley. Once I'm sure that I'm alone, I close my eyes and concentrate on the form I want to take once more. That familiar flowing warmth runs through me again. My body stretching, deforming at my command. A few seconds later, and I open my eyes to glance at my hands.
Better luck next time.
Brushing the dust off myself, I nonchalantly stroll out of the alleyway and back into the street. The odd person walks by on this errand or another, not paying attention to me, just the way I like it.
Left, right, past turn, left.
Mapping out my path in my head, I look for a way to the main road, so it'll be easier to get my bearings there. I pick turns at random without any real destination in mind. When I decided to make the journey to Wellington, it was pretty impulsive. I'd overheard another pair of travelers talking about it and how beautiful a city it is. With the moment now taking the scenery, I can see they weren't wrong. Streets around here seem like a mix of homes and businesses. Everything is very colorful. Even the brick walls are covered in pictures and paint. In the distance, I can see green hills that are lined with houses, as well as green hills that are completely empty. There are a lot of hills, now that I look around some. From just a few streets away, the sound of pedestrians and busy intersections floats my way. I head in its direction, taking shortcuts through yards and driveways when it's convenient. It's like, I'm gonna do... Wait, can I not do a manual save? Ah, I can do it from here. Just so I can come back to this particular scene. This is nice. In one lawn, a big dog growls at me as I walk past. But when I transform and growl right back, he tucks his tail and runs away. Dogs and I have always had an understanding. After squeezing through one last narrow side street, I finally emerge onto what looks like a main road. There's no cars here, but tons of people on foot. There are brightly colored signs and decorations on most of the buildings. In the middle of the street, there are fountains and benches and trees and all kinds of stuff. The best part is the variety of stores. When I stroll past a few of the windows and peek in, I can already tell that I'll be doing most of my shopping around here. There are stores with food, with clothes, with just about everything else. I don't have any money on me, but that isn't exactly a problem. What is a problem is that it's too crowded. Dodging a couple of security guards is one thing, but trying to escape down a busy street with lots of people could be too much even for me. I'll just have to remember where this place is and make another visit later, after all the shops are closed. Then, a man in a bright coat hurries past me, talking loudly on his phone in a language I don't recognize. He's so distracted he doesn't even notice when his wallet falls out of his pocket and onto the sidewalk. I notice, of course. Seeing an opportunity, I zip over and snatch it up, prying open the black leather pockets I find.
Score.
A couple of bills and what I figure is the local currency. I slide the money out and into a pocket of my jacket. And now the man is so far ahead that he's almost out of sight. I have to hurry to catch up to him, give him back his wallet, and he barely even says thank you.
I should have just kept the whole thing.
It's still nice to give it back, even if it puts you at risk of being discovered. It's only fair that I get a little something for myself, since it's not like he would have ever gotten it back without me. Head back to my bench and expect my prize. I don't think that's a whole lot. That looks like a 10 and a 5. Unless this is also part of a number, but it looks more like part of a mountain range. Blue bill and a brown one. These feel sturdy, nothing like the paper I expected.
1, 0, 10. And 5. So 15.
15 isn't much. I definitely should have kept the whole wallet. Oh well, at least this should be enough to buy myself something to drink. My thirst is starting to get the better of me, as I haven't had anything since I snuck onto the airship. Airship, not plane. Interesting. Following my nose, I walk down the busy street until I find one of the many cafes lining the path. The sign hanging above its front door is a picture of a bell on it. Did I not? There we go. A charming bell rings out from above the door as I enter. I can't help but savor the wave of refreshing, cool air washing over me, which feels even better after so much running.
Hiya!
Okay.
Welcome to the Bell House.
So people with animal traits, not super uncommon. Still don't know if the transformation is. The barista behind the counter is the only other person in the store right now. As I nod in greeting, and she leans forward with a cup in one hand and a pen in her other.
What can I get you? We're having a special in affogatos if you want to try one. Usually, they're like $7, but today, they're only 5. I'd like a...
I'm not sure what an affogato is. Is that a vegetable? Not wanting to commit to the strange sounding drink, I look at the menu instead. Unfortunately, it's full of handwritten, spindly letters. I can't read a single word, and there are no helpful pictures. Safe option it is.
I'll just have a vanilla latte. Ugh, boring. Okay. Name?
I do like this animation style. I can tell the mouth is a different layer, because it doesn't blend too well. And that makes it easier if this is a non-recurring NPC, because barista versus Miho. But she has some voice lines, which means she's probably going to appear often enough.
Mio.
It's my first time testing out how the name sounds, and I decided that I like it. I decided on the airship that was the name I would use here in Wellington. I've used so many names throughout my life that I can't remember most of them. For each new city that I visit, I come up with something new. Foxes don't have any use for names, so nobody ever gave me one. She scribbles something on the cup with a black marker. If that's how this name looks, then I'm even more pleased with it.
$4.50, please.
I hand her the brown bill, and she gives me back a big coin with a picture of a boat on it.
All right. I'll have this ready for you in no time.
Oh, I like that little, bounce before walking away. That was cute. She sure seems enthusiastic. And on as she spins around and starts working. Looking about somewhere to sit, I decide on a seat by the window with the sun pouring in. Near the entrance of the cafe, there's a wire rack with a stack of maps and tourist pamphlets, so I grab one of the maps before taking my seat. This cafe is big and bright, with plants everywhere. They're on the walls, on the floor, and on the ceiling. Most of them are real and vibrant, obviously being well cared for. Even the lights that hang down from the ceiling have glass ornaments with little shrubs in them. It seems like I made a good choice coming here. Any place with a bit of nature in it is more comfortable to me than places without.
I guess I should find a place to stay.
Looking down to the map I took, I trace the path I made from the port to this cafe. It's useful, but it doesn't really tell me anything helpful about the houses in particular. I'll need to find a higher vantage point. I move my finger along the hills I noticed from outside, following a little brown path to a patch of green with a little mountain icon. That should work for now.
Miho!
My ears perk up right as the barista arrives and places my drink in front of me.
Thanks.
Reach over and take the warm cup in my hand, but the barista doesn't let go.
You ready for the rain tomorrow?
Are you holding me hostage for conversation? Because that's kind of funny.
Huh? It's gonna rain tomorrow.
I glance behind me out the window. It's as sunny and blue a day as I've ever seen.
How do you know that? There aren't any clouds out there. I'm just good with the weather. Anyway, if you forget, you'll be sorry.
Ominous. But thank you, I guess. She finally lets go of my drink and heads back behind the counter. People are weird. Does the barista pull that on everyone? Standing on the doorstep, I have my first sip.
Oh, this is really good.
Wow, that was a really delayed impact from that. But Bringo, welcome, welcome. We are playing a wonderful little Yuriful visual novel. Yeah, the barista was a bird. And this is a little fox girl who can transform between this humanoid form and fox. We don't know if the other animal people can do that. Not a whole lot of setting information has been given just yet. But it's been adorable so far. Nice chill music playing. Well, aside from this one moment between scenes. But yeah, it's a nice and charming, and last time I saw someone streaming it was better than part of a year ago, and I didn't even see the full game, so I'm still likely to be surprised by the little twists and turns. It's pretty plain coffee, but well made. It isn't too bitter, which is perfect for me. With a moment to myself, my thoughts turn inwards as I sip the warm drink. Oh, and also tell me if I need to turn up the volume for their voice, because that's not something I can easily test. Laptop's charging plug broke, so you're watching on desktop. Oof. That sucks. Hopefully it's something you can get fixed before the battery runs out. Like, completely. Wait, do you... the plug or just where it connects to the laptop? Because some people will refer to both as plug, and I thought, that's a good distinction to make. My first travels were in search of someone, but despite my whole life being spent trying, I haven't made any progress in finding them. So I've taken to simply wandering, going wherever I wish at the time. Ah, the port, not the plug, yeah, oof. I hope that it can be fixed quickly and cheaply. Because it feels like everything to repair a laptop is just more expensive than getting a new one, which is annoying. I'd been itching for a change of scenery anyway, so I snuck onto the first airship that I could. Best part about owning nothing but the clothes on my back is that I can pick up and leave whenever I feel like it. That I'm still underwater. Oh, that's good then. I take a moment to get my bearings and look around. I see a tired-looking person shuffling along the far footpath with a briefcase in their hand. They stop outside one of the buildings, take a deep breath, and pat their face a couple times before going inside. They must not be looking forward to whatever's going to happen in there. Maybe they have to fight someone. Through the large glass windows of another store, a fawn is trying on a pair of shoes, but they don't seem to fit her hooves. People waiting with her look annoyed. I wonder if she fusses around with her footwear a lot. That's, Actually, like, as a world detail moment, if these are, like, regular goat-type hooves, can you really wear shoes with them? But from what I recall of how goat hooves are structured, there's not a whole lot you could grip to. You'd have to use, like, either a tight wrap to keep it from sliding off with enough force, and even then, if someone just, like, fucking flat tires your heel or something, I could see it still just coming right off. It feels almost not worth the effort of trying to find shoes. For a while, I simply let the day roll by and watch various figures who stroll by. People watching is fun, especially in such a busy city. Eventually I go to sip my coffee, only to find nothing coming out. With no more reason to stick around, it's time to go. On the sunlit street, I look about to match what I can see with the map's directions. There's a tall green mountain in the distance, ahead of me, which must be the one on the map. It'll be the perfect vantage point for the whole city. Ideally, I'll find an empty building I can crash in, but it's not necessary. A roof over my head would be nice, but I'm plenty used to sleeping outside under the stars. Sometimes it's better than sleeping in a bed. Plus, I'd made jam. Ooh, delish. With homegrown blackberries. Ah, so not wild picked. You have your own private blackberry bushes. Hells yeah. Encouraged by the plan forming in my head, I set off a long walk to the summit. Okay, so we last picked here, which I guess is kind of not downtown, but central to the area. Didn't plant them on purpose. I mean, it doesn't matter if you planted them on purpose, it's whether or not you kept them on purpose, you know? It's like the plants decided to take root here. I was the one that graciously said, alright, you may stay. Base of berries growing wild in your side yard? Yeah. It's like you can pay your rent. So long as you pay your rent, you can stay. The rent, however, is berries, so yum. Man, maybe I should consider a stream playlist for games like without sound, like good background music, or if I want something chill while doing something grindy. Because this, I do like the soundtrack so far. It's been nice and light. The path to the mountain turns out to be less simple than the map made it look. First, a trail takes me along the waterfront and then turns upwards through a small forested area. Being among the trees and their tall shadows makes me feel at home. My path leaves the woods again. I'm almost a bit disappointed. It leads up a paved road, so I stick to the edge to avoid passing cars. Sometimes I take shortcuts through yards or up unmarked paths. There are quite a few nice-looking homes right along the roadside. I make a mental note to go check them out when I'm low on money or food. Not much further along, a concrete lookout offers another glimpse of the city below. A couple of airships are coming in to dock at the skyport, probably from one of the other floating islands. Oh yeah, Lenore did change their name. Playlist for art streams deemed to queue up music. I will consider that. Having a one that people can contribute to feels a bit dangerous at times. But I definitely consider starting up something that I know is safe for one, streaming, and two, without lyrics to worry about. Put Scylla Jang's Villain on the permanent playlist. I'm not sure I'm familiar with that, though, considering the streams I've been on when they were still Lenora, it's possible I've heard it. She vets the songs, yeah. Yeah, no, the only add a song redeem type people, well, process that I've seen people use have been the, like, live updating ones. So I'd have to look into how Mystery Cryptid does theirs. Figure out if it's going to be worthwhile for the current system I have. Considering the first method of opening this game took up like 60% of the computer's memory for no reason. This one takes up maybe 13 at most. There's still a ways to go to the top of the mountain, but luckily the walk has been easy so far. I wouldn't even consider it a hike. Eventually I reach the final stretch of road. I can see where it curves ahead to the summit, and I hurry to the end. A metal railing spreads out like a crown on top of the mountain. As I go to toss my empty cup away, a pair of chatting tourists pass me by.
How far is it from here?
Oh, about an hour from the base of Mount Victoria, so a bit further from here.
Mount Victoria.
Glad to know what this place is called. I say the name out loud to help commit it to memory. Standing at the edge, I'm treated to a wonderful view of Wellington. The city forms a crescent moon shape around the bay, which glitters like a sapphire from up here. The sun is starting to set, and that makes the water even more shimmery. Even more airships can be seen coming and going. I think that I can even see the edge of the floating island we're on, miles out in the open sky. I'm sorry, floating island? And you don't have the decency to show me game artists? For shame. Well then, I guess floating island that we are on. Still. Reason asked about Burb. You are used to demi birdfolk having feathery ears like Miho's. Got it. Sorry, it took me a second for my mind to get that correct. I don't know why. Well, probably because I stayed up till like 4 in the morning last night writing a fic that I should not have spent that time doing. But alas, I did. I survey the city using the skyport as a reference point. From here, what felt like such a long chase really doesn't look far at all. If I strain my eyes, I think I can even see the coffee shop from earlier. Oh yeah, it's a... Oh, maybe you didn't see it in the Discord. Let's see, I think it's still in the chat up here. Oh, wait. But it might have timed out that far before you're here. Oh, is it still there? Good. But yeah, it's I posted in the Discord too. But yeah, I'm trying to get more practice in dialogue, because I'm great with dialogue as improv between me and my tabletop game players, but writing it in long-form stories is a weakness, and this is a fic I've had in mind for years, only holding off on writing it front-end just because of this weakness, and I'm going to... Fuck it. It's free, and it keeps me busy, so it's a good hobby. Yes, Unbound by Death. If you go to the AO3 page and see the other works, you will see one of the drafts for a far earlier scene that I wrote 6 or 7 years ago, a while ago, and that's how long I've been working on it, slowly but steadily taking notes and adding world details. And now I'm just going, fuck it, it's dialogue time, baby. But yeah, it's to remind you of the background chat, the trailer for the MTG set. I guess I can see it. I don't remember much about the Amonkhet setting, but it's been mentioned in past editions, and it does make sense that Unbound by Death would be connected to them. But yeah, no, it's a fix-it fic with a character pseudo replacing Jean's part in the story of Ruby. And the title of the fic is taken from the little... not ritual. The saying that Pyrrha has when awakening an aura in Jean. And I think it's fitting for the themes I'm covering in the story. Trans allegory, which is not something I'd intentionally put in years ago when I started the idea, but it's there fucking now. But yeah. I'm not going to say it's fun doing dialogue, but it's very engaging. It's also very hard. Because what I have in the currently released Chapter 3 was originally going to be part of Chapter 2, but it keeps expanding further than the original planned outline, so yeah. Meg back then. I was not an egg so much as like, man, it sucks being a do, caught myself and goes, I'm too poor right now to really follow that thought any further, so we're just not gonna, kind of thing. So back when I was still on terms with the people who raised me. Back when I called them parents and not the people that raised me for a reason. But yeah, I figured I might as well put it out in the beginning, because I don't think it's an obvious allegory to people starting. And I don't want people 20 chapters in being a dick. It's like, wait, I didn't realize this is supposed to be a trans metaphor. It's like, well, no excuse now. There are like 10 tags, and one of them is that. Deal with it. But yeah, no. Like I said, I'm challenging myself. There's at least something I have enough plot planned that I can't give up because they're like, oh man, I'm stuck. I don't know where to take it next. I don't get that excuse. We're practicing self, whether we like it or not. But okay, from up here, what felt like such a long chase really doesn't look far at all. If I strain my eyes, I think I can even see the coffee shop from earlier. He's right there. Or something. What was the barista said it was called? The Bell House? It's kind of tough to make out details. My hearing and sense of smell may be great, but my eyes aren't that much better than a human's. I don't think you told me about the Corphic. You want to write with 3... Oh, wait. I think you did? I don't think you phrased it like you were setting out to write it. It felt more like, it's like, I have these, like, headcanons and ideas for OCs. But, I mean, if you want to do it, please, absolutely share if you post it anywhere so I can get a good read. I've been hearing so much about these character ideas, like the moth. No, it's not. It's the Moonlight Moth, right? Sorry, like it's a lot of writing last night, and also in the middle of this other story. So names are really shitty for me right now. Yeah, if it's that trio, I'm looking forward to seeing the full details you wish to inflict upon them in response to their interactions. And also, it's like, yeah, it makes sense our eyes aren't that much better than humans. A fox, if I recall correctly, foxes are more closely related to dogs than cats, but they have a very similar eye setup where it's better for noticing motion than just specific details. Moonlit moth, it's close. Yeah, it seems like a fun premise. Just the overall setting in general, and also with all your reading among the various settings fics that people have put out. I'm looking forward to see where you want to take it. It's a story setting rife for allegories and metaphors that you can just make absolutely blatant. Who the fuck cares? It's like it's my self-insert, and I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want with them. It's like, yeah, those other people that they're facing all the time are pretty much the same bullies I had years ago. This is cathartic. Let me have this. Who's this at? Okay, no, that is just Lena's stream starting. That's fine. One of them's there for punishment, second's there to keep first in line, third is there to actually help, despite orders to the contrary. Fun dynamic for a trio. This is my punishment. I'm making sure you feel punished. The third is like, I'm supposed to be doing the opposite, but I'm here to help. Great. What was I saying? Right, because yeah, fox eyes are not for detail sight, especially not at a distance. So it makes sense she doesn't get super sight. Then I noticed something useful.
Look! Is that our house?
It's that kid's house. Damn, my eyes are good. No.
Probably. What can you see from here?
I see Dad's car!
Not too far away, there's a little kid who's using a pair of metal tubes attached to a post. His mom is helping him aim it at the city. It must be something that improves her vision. When the kid and his mom leave, I hurry over before someone else can get to them first. When I press my eyes, the same spot that the child did, though, all I can see is black. I try moving it around, but it doesn't change. Is this thing busted? Some text is printed on the side. I have no idea what it says. There's a small slot, though, with a picture of a coin next to it. Lucky for me, it's the coin that has a 50 on it. Put the coin that I received from the barista into the slot and spin a lever. The machine eats my coin, then when I put my eyes to it again...
Yes!
Everything looks much closer now. Even the trees on the other side of the hill appear in a crystal clear detail, like I'm standing right next to them. I am viewing glass of the city and look around, trying to find a good place to rest for the night. Houses are a no-go. Even if they look empty or abandoned, you can never let your guard down for a minute. Same with most shops. I don't have enough money for a hotel, and I won't risk sinking into one of those either. So I'm studying the sights, trying to memorize as much as I can. There's a clicking sound, and once again, the view goes black. Stupid machine. I smack it a couple times, check again, but still can't see anything.
Well, whatever.
Doesn't it suck how they'll just gatekeep the ability to see each other? Am I talking about these binocular things being charged for minutes? Sunglasses? The ability to fly out to see your friends across the country, if not the world? Yes. Yes, I am.
Looks like I'm sleeping outside tonight. Guess this place is as good as any.
Head back down the trail a bit to veer off of it into the underbrush. Oh, that's not very far. I think the last spot was right there or something.
Not perfect, but it'll do.
It's not exactly the wilderness, but just about everything around here seems cityfied to some extent. Usually when I make a den, I prefer to find a place far from other people. A place where nobody will find me. I doubt I'll find anything perfect, but this is good enough.
It's fine. Can't afford to be picky.
Once the trail I was on is out of sight, I transform again. My neck gets warm as my bead activates, and a few seconds later, I'm on all fours. As a fox, the sensations of nature are much stronger. The earth beneath my paws is cool and refreshing. The breeze whips through my tails like a massage. I hurry down a hill covered in grass so tall that it reaches way over my head. I can smell fresh water. Follow the scent to a small stream where I'm able to quench my thirst. Excuse me. It's just as satisfying as the drink I got at that cafe, but in a different way. And being able to slurp up water is way more enjoyable than having to use a straw, or worse, one of those lids with tiny holes. For a little while, I follow my nose to some berries and some edible plants that'll do for a snack. Unfortunately, unlike the water, foraging is never as satisfying as eating human food. If I want a real meal tonight, then I should pick up the pace before it gets too late. Still, I want to get to this done now while there's still daylight. I keep close to the stream and search for a place where the ground is soft. Before too long, I find a promising area. Small valley with hills on both sides and thick foliage on the others. I'm still close enough to civilization to hear cars and other city noise, but the area I'm in doesn't seem like it gets visited very often. At the very least, it doesn't really smell like people. The spot that I settle on is a nice mound of earth near the edge of the woods, partially hidden by a tall tree with low-hanging leaves. Even if no one comes by, it makes me feel better knowing that I'll be out of sight. And so I start to dig. My claws rip away the dirt as I burrow downwards, widening the tunnel just enough for my sleek frame to fit. First I dig outward and then downwards, widening out an area that's big enough for my whole body to fit. This is something I've been doing my whole life, even back when I was just a regular fox. I think that's why I don't mind it too much, compared to sleeping inside somewhere. It just feels right to me. Nice little area. Takes a little while, and by the time I'm finally finished, the first few stars have started to peek out from the sky. Shake myself clean of the dirt that sticks to my coat, and then transform back into my human form.
Spread this here, a couple of branches here, some leaves there.
I walk around the valley a bit, checking from different angles.
Not bad for just an afternoon's work.
If you weren't looking for it, I don't think you'd ever notice anything out of place. All that digging has made me work up an appetite, and not the kind that'll be satisfied with just a few berries.
Ugh, I'm so hungry. I haven't had a real meal since yesterday.
My stomach rumbles painfully. I've been so busy since arriving here at Wellington that I kind of forgot just how hungry it was. Oh, right, you missed it, Barango. For one, we're in Wellington, New Zealand. Just landed at the airport. We had snuck onto the plane with more trouble than it took sneaking off. But we had to run past customs because we did not have a passport. They gave Happy Chase a good portion around the city, but we managed to break free in fox form. So yeah, it's a fun little start to this. This is a floating island as well, but it still counts as New Zealand. So the question is island, air quotes, the entirety of New Zealand, or is it like a collection of little islands? Who's to say? Who's to say that the game won't tell us? I am curious, though. I'll grab some human food back in town. Guess one last glance at my afternoon's work, I set off towards the city.
Work never ends. Time to get some food.
Yeah, that's right. Dumpster diving time, unless they don't have those, and then we're a little screwed for variety. I would assume a city like this would have dumpsters, especially for businesses. But that's mostly because I can't consider what other system a city would have for mass trash pickup. Maybe there is a better way than dumpsters. I just don't know it. I'm a bit disappointed when I finally get back to the busy street from before. I was hoping that it would be emptier now and that all the stores would be closed. Oh, speaking of, quick save. Turns out I was half right. A lot of shops have gone dark for the evening, but there are just as many people walking around now as there were earlier. In fact, there might even be more. The patio of a restaurant has a bunch of tables full. A mermaid is sitting in the fountain I sat by earlier, chatting with a cyclops. Even the cafe that I visited is crowded now, with a blind almost out the door. After pacing up and down the road for a while, I sit down and try to figure out what to do next. I'm not too worried about what would happen if I got caught stealing. I'd just escape, obviously. Even if they somehow managed to catch me, it wouldn't be an issue for very long. See, there's something different about me that makes me extra good at being a thief. And it's not just the skills I practiced over the years, like picking locks and sneaking around. Which question, if she wasn't taught by anyone, how does one exactly pick up picking locks? It's not exactly an easy skill to do. No, it's a bit more special than that. Without fail, every single person I meet forgets about me by the next day. I don't know why, but I don't really care either. It's magic. That's all I know about it. Really useful magic. And from the outside looking in, I can see how this game is going to get sad. Oof. Everywhere I go, no matter how careless I am, all of my problems are solved by the next day. That doesn't mean there's no danger. I've been caught in the act before and beaten or harassed before I could manage to get away. I've even lost a few prizes that I stole fair and square because I had to get going in a hurry. Or if someone sees me but isn't able to stop me, I know that I'll be home free. Sure, they might remember having something stolen, but they'll never know who did it. That almost makes things too easy. Right now, it would be smarter to just come back even later, in the dead of night, and hope that there are no people around. I'd be able to take my time browsing without having to worry about making a quick escape. Where's the fun in that, though? I walk casually up and down the street, glancing into windows without being too obvious about it. Some stores still have customers inside, others have locked the doors and shut off the lights. Most of the restaurants are still open and are only making me hungrier. Stealing from restaurants is a bit much even for me, though. I've tried it before, but the cluttered kitchens, as well as the tables and chairs, just make it hard to get around. Plus, I've learned the hard way that there are plenty of hot or sharp things for angry cooks to throw at you as you try to make your way out. Instead, packaged and pre-made foods are my best friends. Things that I can grab multiples of at once and stuff into my pockets. If I'm really lucky, I'll find a place with refrigerated sandwiches or salads, or sometimes perfectly good hot food that gets thrown out. You wouldn't believe the kind of stuff that's available if you don't mind sifting through the trash a little bit. It's not ideal, of course, but a hot meal is a hot meal. I know plenty of foxes who've eaten much worse.
Target spotted.
Target spotted. Wiggles activated. No, wait, that's cats. Never mind. Actually, foxes might as well, because they also do pounce hunting. It's perfect. A small convenience store, snacks lined up behind the front window. Even better, the shops on either side of it are closed too, so there's not many other people in the area.
Locked, huh? Not surprising.
Head down a nearby alley and find the back door, which is probably where they bring in new products. The alleyway is dark to begin with. My dark clothes help me hide even better. The pale-ass skin, probably not so much. In fact, it probably hurts having dark-colored clothes next to pale skin. But whatever. Glance around the alley, glad like always for my excellent night vision. Nobody's watching, nobody's even around. Pull my hood up over my ears and tuck my tail between my legs, leaning against the sturdy door. To anyone not looking closely, I'm sure I appear as nothing more than a shadow. Dig around my pocket until I find my trusty lockpick, then set to work on the door. It isn't a complicated lock at all, just a regular keyhole. With a click, the latch springs open just a few short moments later. Criminal mastermind.
Bingo. Huh?
I tried to tug the doors towards me, but there's a chain on the inside that keeps it from opening very wide. No way a human can fit through the gap, but it would be easy for a fox. First, I slunk away for a bit, idling on the nearby street like a regular pedestrian. Wait to see if anyone shows up, just in case I triggered a silent security system. After about 10 minutes, I decide it's safe. Transform under cover of darkness in the alley and slip into the building before transforming back. Shop isn't very big, and the receiving area is just a small hallway with a few boxes of sodas and candy bars on the floor. I grab a couple of my favorites and shove them into my pockets. When I creep into the main area, I make sure to stay low to the ground, trying to avoid being seen from outside. I'm not exactly hidden, but as long as I don't stand up, I shouldn't attract anyone's attention. I move fast, cramming as much into my coat as I can. Cookies, protein bars, popcorn, I'm not very picky. When my coat starts to feel pretty heavy, I grab a plastic bag from behind the counter, transfer some of my loot into there. I also take a few bottles of water, sports drinks, from the coolers. Just as I'm about to leave, I spot a few of those coveted plastic wrap sandwiches I was thinking about earlier.
Jackpot.
Fill my bag with sandwiches till it's almost overflowing. Then I head back out the way I came in. In total, I was in and out under 5 minutes. I've got enough supplies to last me several days. Another ad? Is this? No, that's not important. Okay. I step into the alley, I glance around in both directions, make sure no one saw me emerge from the store. I don't see anyone, but my neck prickles as if someone is watching me. Sniff the air, but don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Nothing that wasn't there before. Still. God, that's a bat. Suddenly there's a flap of wings and a bat flutters past me from out of the shadows. flies right over my head and disappears from sight up the street.
Oh, that's it?
I got the breath I'd been holding and start making my way back towards the mountain, where I made my den. I let the bag swing from my arm as I walk, whistling a song I heard earlier. I'm not able to keep a smile off my face.
All in all, not a bad first day. I've got a nice nest, food to spare, and plenty of places to explore tomorrow.
There have been plenty of days in my life where I had none of those things. I wrap one of the sandwiches I grabbed and take a big bite.
Nothing beats the taste of hard work.
I hope Wellington continues to treat me well while I'm here. Getting out will probably be an issue, but oh well.
So tired. I'm gonna sleep so well tonight.
I unpack everything that I got from the store, as well as the treasures that I always carry with me. My lockpick, wallet, a few pretty stones. The only thing that I leave in my jacket is a small scroll.
Can't get that damaged or dirty.
Okay, got some mystery. What is the scroll, and will we find out? Change back into a fox and then dig another hole near the entrance to my den. This one is much simpler and shallower. I bury some of the snacks that I stole before covering them back up with dirt.
Not like anyone's gonna come by and swipe my things, but better safe than sorry. I stole this myself after all. Don't want it being stolen from me.
Stuff like my pen and my favorite rock go into the burrow with me, since I like having them close by. Once I've got everything where it belongs, I climb into the hole myself, turning a few circles before settling down with my tail wrapped around me. From here, I have a perfect view of the stars. Look up at the clear night sky through the mouth of the tunnel. I feel bad for all the people way down on the underworld.
Can they even see the stars from there?
I've never been to the underworld, so I have no idea. I can't imagine falling asleep without them. Comfortable and safe, I close my eyes and quickly slip off to dreamland. I wake up to trouble, or at least a threat. I'm sure it's only morning as I peer out the burrow's entrance, but the sky's already dark and foreboding. My attention moves from the ominous rain clouds above to the trees outside my den, their branches shaking in the strong breeze.
I can't believe that girl from the cafe was right.
Climb up the tunnel and out into the open, sniffing the air. It just tells me what I already know. The storm is coming, and fast. But also, another scent plays on my nose. One so faint that I almost brush it off before taking another sniff. Surely I'm wrong. There's no way that... Blowing my snout to the ground, I investigate the area, and then decide that I'm right. Change my human form, look around.
Someone's been here.
Yes, someone's definitely been here. The scent isn't a human's. It's vaguely familiar. At the same time, not like anything I recognize.
And it definitely wasn't here when I went to sleep.
They must have come here in the night and stopped right outside my den.
Were they watching me sleep?
That's creepy if true.
Oh crap!
As a fox, I dive back in my hole, make sure everything is still there. Heart pounds in my chest, but nothing appears to be missing. I also checked the spot where I buried my stash from last night, but that hasn't been disturbed either. I breathe a sigh of relief. If any of my stuff had been stolen, I'd be so mad. But that still doesn't answer the question of what they did want. That's even more concerning. I'm a pretty light sleeper, and usually the slightest sound or motion will wake me up. So if someone was able to sneak up on me, Even I have to be impressed. Impressed and a little bit worried. I've got a more pressing issue right now, though, and I stare up at the sky in disappointment.
I hate the rain.
I would have found a different place to make my nest and hide my supplies if I'd known this would happen. Instead, both burrows would probably just be piles of mud by the end of the day. I mean, in the barista's defense, she did try to warn you that it looked like rain the next day, and you just ignored that. Like, you could have gone, it's like, it might not rain today, but maybe later this week.
I should have found a place with a roof after all.
I fill my pockets with my most important possessions and some of the food I grabbed last night. Everything else I wrap as tightly in the plastic bags as I can and bury them in the den. Hopefully, I can find somewhere fast, then move everything else over before it gets ruined. An abandoned house would be perfect, or some other place where I'd be able to hide. Just about to get going when a loud flapping sound overhead catches my attention. Expected to be another bird, but instead it's yet another bat. This one is even bigger than the one I saw last night. Wings are way longer and noisier. I can even hear it squeaking something as it flies past. Some people will say bats and foxes are similar. I don't see it. Watch it fly around for a little while before it takes off towards the city.
Maybe it knows somewhere to stay. Guess I'll follow it for now.
A couple times it disappears between the trees or just too far ahead, but I always manage to catch back up. Eventually, we're out of the woods and back into civilization, where a car whizzes right past me. There's a sidewalk here and other people walking around. Most of them look up to the sky nervously, though, and everyone seems to be in a hurry.
Guess I'm not the only one looking to get away from the rain.
I'm just about to get going when a loud flapping sound overhead catches my attention. Oh, wait. It feels like that was just said earlier, but okay. Unless this is yet a third bat. More people seem to be going in the direction I was headed than anywhere else, so I stick to that. By now, my winged guide is almost out of sight again, just a little black speck in the sky flying into the distance. Further up the road, there's a slope that leads to a big, fancy-looking building. It doesn't look like a shop or a restaurant, at least not one that I've ever seen. But there are so many people going in and out that it has to be open to the public. That's good enough for me. They'll give me somewhere dry to spend some time, and maybe I can learn something useful. Plus, places like this usually have plenty of valuables inside. If I'm lucky, I might be able to find something to fund my next few days. After all, the bigger the target, the less likely they are to notice something's missing. That sounds like a fool's pride right there. Everyone knows the more expensive an item is, the less likely they'll notice that I've got it in my pocket or some such. The sturdy oak door isn't as heavy as it looks, a firm push being enough to heave it open. Gingerly step inside, and out of the rain I'm greeted by books. Lots of books. Books on shelves, books on tables, books on the floor, books everywhere. The place even smells of musty old paper. The dozen or so people inside are mostly leafing through pages in the aisles. The odd silence about the building is striking, given how many are around. It doesn't look like a shop, so I assume this must be a library. I've heard of them, but never been in one. No point, since I can't read and all. It's warm and cozy and very dry, so it'll do just fine. There's a desk near the entrance with a computer on it that I assume would be where I checked in. It's untended, which is good for me. Take a seat in the empty chair nearby and sit back just to observe for a bit. There are plenty of people, but it's not too busy. Lots of empty, unwatched spaces. Most folks seem to be here alone or in small groups that keep to themselves. There's not much conversation going on, and what there is all whispered. Nobody gives me a second glance, which is a good sign. Means I'm probably not breaking any rules just by being here. Behind the desk, there's a hallway leading deeper into the building. I peek around the corner to see what's back there. All I can see are some shut doors, and at the very back, a staircase. After glancing around to make sure no one's watching, I sneak down the hall and try a couple of the doors. All of them are locked. I could probably pick them if I wanted to. No sense trying to do that now, though. Is there anything more valuable around? An antique clock or vase would be perfect. Sadly, it's almost all books. Books and small trinkets look pretty worthless. Not even worth the trouble of stealing. At least it's got a roof. I do spot a couple promising items, like a set of old coins, and memorize their locations. I wander back to the main area where I came in. Excuse me. Outside, it hasn't started raining yet. It's only a matter of time. The wind is loud and gusty, and even opening the door is enough to make me shiver. If nothing else, I can probably wait out the rain here. Ugh, my poor abandoned snacks back at the den. What a waste. Can't do anything about it now, though. I should keep looking around. I move slowly through the area, never going beyond what seems to be the public area. I pretend to inspect a few books, take them off the shelves and flipping through the pages. But I'm actually mapping out the place in my head. Doors, windows, potential places to hide, things like that. Has Yuri happened yet? Not yet, but considering one of the two options is a librarian, I assume meet cute is going to happen in the near future. Most of the time, this kind of info is unnecessary. It's been at least a few decades since I've had to make a dramatic escape from anywhere. At this point, plotting an escape route is just a habit. Overall, I like what I'm seeing. Even with locked doors and the off-limits hallways, there are a lot of nooks and crannies that would make good hiding spots. Especially as a fox. From the thick dust that coats a lot of these areas, I can tell they don't get a whole lot of visitors. If I'm careful, I might be able to go a whole week or more without being noticed. As long as I can get in and out of the building easily, that is. With the huge windows that line the back wall, that seems easy enough too. Weave around a couple shelves that are taller than I am, heading for the far back corner. Peer around the corner of the last aisle just to make sure I'm alone. And librarian? But I'm not. The song is the girl reading this. Oh, that's funny. Okay, it looks like Yuri is about to start Baringo. I'm going to do a manual save. Because with two routes, it means, well, two routes to follow. I'm sure it's not going to be super heavy overlap. Ah, shit, I forgot to read that. She's perfectly still, but mouths the words on the page as she reads, like she's tasting them instead of just seeing them. Oh, I guess that was it. Her expression has the distant look of someone way off in their own world, far away from this one. She looks so at peace that I think she must belong in that other world. She's beautiful and elegant in the same way as a painting, with light from the window shining on her like a splay. Certainly not a romantic way to describe a complete stranger you just met. Nothing queer about that, no sir. I duck back behind the bookshelf, pressing one hand to my racing heart. My other bumps against one of the books on the shelf and falls with a dusty thump. Finally, dialogue between characters, so slightly less reading aloud for me. Cursing my clumsiness, I silently back away in case she decides to investigate, but she doesn't leave her chair.
I suppose it's nothing.
Must have been the wind. She turns and gazes out the open window. At what? I don't know. A moment later, she returns to her book and leaves this world again. I stay hidden, my face still burning a little bit. Yes, I think this will be the perfect place to spend some time. Oh, what? No, okay. I was about to go, it's like, no, go back to librarian girl. She even wears blue like me. Suddenly, there's a much louder boom than the one I caused, as thunder rumbles outside. A few people around the library startle at the sound and look around. Sighing, the girl in the chair pulls the window beside her closed, the first drops of rain falling not a minute later. Don't forget to close that. Yeah, oh no, the weather. I'll investigate the windows later. Right now, I don't want to bother her, so I head back to one of the plush chairs on the other side of the library and take a seat. I could be here a while, depending on how long the rain lasts, so I may as well get comfy. I find a few books that have more pictures than words and curl up in one of the soft chairs to flip through them. There aren't as many of those ones, and I go through the stack pretty fast. Takes long enough for the rain to start, though. Start a conversation, creature. If you can't read, stop pretending. Pictures are pretty, but there's a limit to how much you can gain from staring at them. Actually, no, it'd be kind of fun. Maybe not like a stream, but in general. Just like getting blank pages from like manga translation or something, and just improvising dialogue and plot. Just off of the facial features and what people are doing. The longer I read, the louder the pounding of the rain, the howling of the wind become. Guess it's not letting up anytime soon. I can't complain, though. This library is pretty cozy by my usual standards. It's warm and soft. Nobody tells me to go away. I even have snacks. More than once, I get up and walk around the library again, even though I've got most of it memorized by now. I take note of things like a child's stuffed toy that's lying on the floor in one section, or the thin blanket that's stuffed between a bookshelf and the wall. Read why. On my third or fourth trip around, I finally find something I'd been looking for. One of the far corners, totally opposite from where I saw the reading girl earlier. There's a single chair and a small table. On the wall nearby is a portrait. The painting itself is of a girl with light brown hair, but I barely pay attention to that. What I'm interested in is the frame. It's lovely. Sits in a chair incorrectly? Yeah. It's like mood. I'm on the edge of my seat. And that's mostly because it's somehow the most comfortable right now for reading. We'll see how my back feels 20 minutes from now. But it's lovely. Looks like it might be made out of gold. It certainly shines like it. It's carved intricately into the shape of waves, flowing up and down. It's gotta be worth something. I pretend to not pay much attention to it as I make my way back to my table, chalantly-like. There are too many other people around for me to be able to try to sneak it out. It's too big to fit under my jacket without being obvious. That just means I'll have to come back some other time. Maybe once the place is closed. The hours pass by and the storm continues. Yeah, do not the painting. Exactly. I'm kind of disappointed about losing a whole day, especially so soon after arriving, but it's not like I'm in any sort of hurry. I pat one of my pockets, feeling the familiar and reassuring weight of the paper scroll that's tucked away there. That scroll is the only thing close to a purpose that I have. No message for the book club still, but very fitting in the library to be struck by books. Well played. Or at least I don't have any way to deal with this scroll faster. A lot of waiting. I spent a long time reading. It's almost afternoon when I go and check the windows again. But the rough weather outside continues. At this rate, I'll be sleeping in a puddle of mud tonight. Unless... Why does she have a scroll? Good question. Hasn't been made clear yet. She just has it, and she wants to keep clean. But she also can't read, so she'll need help with that. A quick check shows that a lot of the other library patrons have left. It's not empty, but it's not nearly as full as earlier. Guess some of them decided it was worth braving the rain. Looking as nonchalant as I can, I get up from my seat and pretend to browse again, slowly moving through the shelves. The reading girl is gone now, although she's not what I was looking for. Instead, I pick up the drop toy and blanket that I spotted earlier, and head to one of the out-of-the-way hiding spots I picked out before. It's on the floor, between a shelf and the wall, but has a bit of carpet to help make it softer. Even better, it's between two corner shelves, meaning that it's practically out of sight if you're not looking for it. I wriggle my way between the furniture and lie down, using the toy as a pillow and draping the blanket over me. I toss and turn a few times before finally settling down.
Yep, not bad at all.
Even though I haven't done much today, I'm always down to take a nap. I could pass a few hours by sleeping, wake up once it's dark, and then grab that picture frame and be on my merry way. I'll have to rebuild my den once I get back, but that's a problem for future me. I yawn, staring up the ceiling until my eyes get heavy.
Maybe today won't be a total waste after all.
Okay, it's night. The soft sound of cloth rustling wakes me from a dreamless sleep. How did someone sneak up on me twice now? I don't know how long it's been. The sky outside has darkened significantly, and now stars twinkle outside the window. Past me is an asshole, and future me is ungrateful. Obviously, that means the you of the present is the best version of you that will ever exist. Nope. Oh, hey, it's romantic interest number 2. There's no time to react as the sound comes closer. I hear no footsteps, but suddenly a woman steps into view. Her clothes are pure white, make her stand out like a ghost in the dark library. Her cape rustles again as she reaches toward one of the shelves. Yeah, very prince-coded type outfit. Not like royalty, but like the female characters that are like cool, collected, described as the prince type character. One of the shelves I'm hiding behind, to be precise. Gingerly, she moves 2 books to the side and then slides another book into the space she created. She handles them like precious treasures that might break if she's too rough. I stay perfectly still, afraid to even breathe in case she notices me. That's a nice view. That was a nice transition. That means they put in the effort of making 2 layers of the art just for that zoom effect. My heart beats wildly as she slowly and deliberately looks over the shelf, examining their titles before taking a book from the second lowest row. Through the gaps she creates in the shelves, our eyes meet in the darkness. Somehow you doubt any straight woman dresses like that? Oh, for sure. And usually the joke with, at least in like manga, the prince type female character is loved far more by the ladies than the men, and sadly almost never get a wonderful, fulfilling lesbian relationship. I wish one straight author was so brave, but no. They always stick to the fucking, ugh. But yeah, until I know what her business is, because I already know the other one's the librarian. Because why wouldn't the one reading in the middle of the day be the librarian? I don't know what love interest number two's business is, so I may not take that chance. I'm sorry, Barengo. Do not blame me. Librarian to librarian communication is very important. No. Nice me in the darkness. Oh no. Oh no, she's hot! Tense up as she steps around the shelving between us to get a better look at me, preparing myself to leap away if the need arises. The carefully memorized layout of the library flashes through my mind as I frantically plot the best way to flee. Bring up my bones, quoting a Fetty Mutual. Though this does paint the picture a little bit better, because the way she had described where she was hiding earlier, it sounded like two shelves were like against walls going into a corner, and that's where she's hiding, like in a little like implied square. But this description of being able to be seen after removing a book implies the gap is between two shelves back to back, which is a very different visual than I had, and that might just be my fault of misinterpreting earlier. But I'm just letting the tension build by not continuing, so we'll go. Even as I prepare my escape, I can see her taking in everything about me. The stolen blanket, the makeshift pillow, my generally disheveled appearance. She opens her mouth and I brace myself for the verbal attack that's sure to come. And her voice sounds like...
Hello there.
Oh, I do like that accent.
May I ask why you're sleeping on the floor?
Can't quite place it. It doesn't quite sound like light British. But it is nice. All the art of Miho is very shoveled. I mean, it's the implication of, it's like, how would you think you would look just sleeping on the floor in between two shelves of a library? In a space that is all but implied to probably be dusty from hard to clean area. I don't think being shoveled is a very likely outcome with dust bunnies in your hair. As shoveled as you ever look? Oh, fair play. Maybe you've got dust bunny kosher out the wazoo. I apologize, Baringo. It doesn't matter what I say. Just distract her enough to get away.
I don't have anywhere else to sleep.
Honesty is a good policy when you're trying to lie about also casing the place for stuff to steal.
I thought so.
She leans down and offers me a hand. I look at it warily. I don't take it, but I slowly stand, letting the blanket fall to my feet and trying to subtly get in position to run.
Well, I have an extra room on the second floor that you're welcome to borrow, if you prefer that.
Ooh, close, Baringa. The first offer was for a room to stay in, but she will probably follow up with tea, giving the whole vibe she's got going on.
Otherwise, you're more than welcome to remain here, on the ground. I apologize for waking you.
Wait, did I misjudge the other girl? Is this the librarian? Or are they both librarians, but one has another job that they define themselves in? Actually, you might be correct, and I do have to take this chance with the librarian. I'm sorry. I mean, she was shelving books, sure, but she could also just be here late at night. Maybe it's a 24/7 bookstore. Sorry, not bookstore. 24/7 library. I wish those existed. Maybe this is just another fantasy element. Or New Zealand has those. I'd like to believe it. With a smile, the oddly calm woman steps away and busies herself organizing another row of books. She probably expects me to let my guard down and take her offer. I'm just a stranger. Someone who broke into her library. You came in during operating hours. There's no reason for her to treat me kindly. My years of experience, there are plenty of those, tell me it's a trap.
Thanks, but no thanks. I'll just be going, actually. Sorry to bother you like this.
Get her name, Mio. Seeing as you can't get her contact info, really. Nope, never mind, she just runs. Hurry past her, shoulders tense as I expect her to grab me or try to stop me. She doesn't know. Breaking news. Local fop panics when offered... Oh, shit. Chat scrolled on me. Brango, apologies. Didn't. Come on. Scroll, why do you just never freaking work? Local fop panics when offered kindness by beautiful woman. More at 9. The one time I glance back, she's watched me with a strange expression I don't recognize. When I get outside and away from the library, I breathe a sigh of relief.
Whew, that was close. I'm not falling for that one again.
Last time I let someone feel sorry for me, accept a place to stay, I woke up with them trying to empty my wallet. I may be a thief, but at least I do it honestly. I wouldn't try to trick someone like that. That wasn't the first time someone tried to fool me and take advantage of me either.
Still, it's a shame to lose such a nice hiding place. Maybe I'll give it a couple of days for that woman to forget about me, and then try again.
Ah, yes, the sad part of the story. Oh wait, you might not have been here for this. Or in case there's any lurkers who wasn't here for it, at least. She has a power that, as far as she's described, doesn't sound like it's intentional, but it is helpful for her standing as a thief. Give it a day or so, people just forget her. They might remember what she did, but she won't remember... Sorry, they won't remember her. Which is sad. It makes it hard to, woo the ladies. Especially well-dressed, cool prince types like that librarian.
If she wasn't lying about there being an empty room on the second floor, then maybe I could sneak into there.
Classic trust issues, like, maybe I can take what was offered regardless, but not on their terms, on mine. Yes, surely this is the correct way to go about things. Tonight, though, I am on my own. Shivering, I wrap my coat and tail tightly around myself as I think about what to do next. The rain has stopped, although it's still cold and cloudy. My stomach grumbles since I haven't eaten anything other than snacks all day, and heard fucking assholes revving their engines out on the street. I may as well get it over with and go check on the status of my den.
Well, it could be worse.
Not sure how, but it could probably be worse, indeed. It's not bad as I expected, which is a pleasant surprise.
What's a little mine? It'll be just fine.
I swapped my fox form to Prodder Pound. The entrance is caved in a little, but after I scoop that out, I find that the rest of the tunnels in the main room are relatively intact. Cold as hell, but intact. It seems trees protect the den from a lot of the rain. It takes me a while to find the spot where I buried my stash, since the stick I used to mark the spot got washed away. Take Library Princess off her, give her time. It's, even the pre-story that was decades ago, if I recall, because she said something about having stealing and stuff for decades. She was just a fox at one point, and it took like weeks of random stranger bringing them food to trust them. The prince just needs to start with offering food rather than a room. A room is too permanent. You can't walk away with a room, but you can walk away with food. Oh, I accidentally right-clicked. I was wondering what that happened. Okay. Eventually, I locate it, though, and start digging. The cold mud makes my paws dirty and sore. Little flecks cover my fur. After I finally reach the soggy plastic bags, I shake myself clean before opening them as a human. Some water has seeped through. I have the spoiled items before tossing them away. I'm not too picky, but I have plenty of other snacks to choose from.
Eat up, birdies.
A few of them swoop down to inspect the offering. I scarf down a quick meal of cookies and unwarmed soup, along with some cold water from the stream. At least the water is satisfying. Then, even though I just woke up from a nap not too long ago, I shift back to my fox form to crawl into my den and curl up. I'm sure it'll be a while before I fall asleep. I don't feel like going back into town. I've had enough excitement for one day. This isn't all that bad. Regular foxes without magic powers have it way worse than I do. Although, back when a fox was all I was, I wouldn't have really cared. To this day, I'm not sure what it is that makes me different. I used to be just like them. No desire to go beyond the forest or anything. And one day, I became whatever I am now. All I had was my necklace, a small scroll I can't read, and the memory of the person who had given it to me. They were so kind to me, that stranger in the forest. They wished me well, even though I was just an ordinary fox. Somehow that didn't seem to matter to them. I never even knew their name, just their face and their voice. I know that I'll recognize them when I see them again. It's just a matter of finding them. So since then, I've been looking and surviving. Looking for them is what keeps me going. It's enough to live for. If I wasn't, I don't know what else I'd be doing. I guess I'd just be surviving, but if that was the only thing, I think I'd rather have just stayed a fox. Standing outside my den in human form, I take stock of how things stand. The sun's thankfully out this morning, but everything remains damp, from the ground to the muggy air itself. The chill on the breeze is the worst, make me shiver every time it hits me. The Bell House was pleasant when I visited a couple days ago. I decided to head down towards the main street, get a coffee there while working out my next moves. Coming to the door of the cafe, I pause and wipe my feet on the mat outside. I almost said pause again, just because there's pause there. The human fascination with surrounding themselves in concrete makes a little more sense as I work the mud off my feet. With that, I finally head inside, only to stop in my tracks as the door shuts behind me. Hey, a reading girl. Definitely not a librarian if you're working here in the morning. Dang. What a shame, because I do like that hairstyle. I wish my hair was long enough to do it, and that I was better at doing it. I tried braids for the last Ren Fair, and I had to take them out halfway through. It was just coming too much. Standing behind the counter is the same girl who I saw reading the library yesterday, talking with the customer as she takes their order. That gentle aura about her is unmistakable. The person in front of me finishes their order, and I step up to the counter.
Good morning. Welcome to the Bell House.
Okay, I guess she's got a bit of an accent too. It feels a little stronger than the unnamed prince of the library, though.
What can I make for you today?
Oh, she's a Kiwi. I can place the accent now. Got it. She's a native of Wellington here.
Oh, hi.
vanilla latte? No, that's boring.
What do you recommend? I want to try something new. I'm glad you asked. I was just thinking that you look like the sort of person who would enjoy one of our fairy kiss chillers.
Ma'am, are you flirting with me? That seems kinda suggestive. But that might be through the lens of dating sim game, so, you know.
It's one of our signature drinks, with a vanilla gelato base and a mint chocolate chip swirl.
Oh, you had me at mint chocolate. I was planning to get something warm, but that does sound pretty good.
Okay, give me one of those then. Perfect. And could I get your name, please? It's Miho.
She scribbles something onto a cup and finishes it with a big flourish.
I'll have that right out for you. Thanks.
I pay and then go to the same seat as before, next to one of the windows. It's pretty empty in here again, so I can sit wherever I want. Before the barista starts making my drink, I spot her writing something else down in a little notebook. She glances my way once or twice while she does, but I pretend not to notice. I wonder what it is. The barista the other day didn't write anything down. Anyway, I've got more important things on my mind. I'm all over the plan which formed as I walked in here, becoming increasingly happy with it. Tonight, I've already decided I'm going to sneak back into that library. Between that picture frame and some of the other trinkets I saw, I should be able to pilfer enough to fund my next few days in Wellington. Finding somewhere to sell it should be the easy part. I've had a dozen excuses I can recite from where the items came from. Dead grandma, spring cleaning, new renovations. Sometimes I try extra hard and pretend the things I'm selling are really special to me, and earned a bit more cash that way. Sometimes I just take whatever they give me. After years of watching other humans do it and trying it out myself, I've gotten pretty good at pawning items off. I find myself idly watching the barista make my drink. While I do, I practice a disarming smile. All of her movements are quick and practiced, but she has that same faraway look in her eyes that I noticed yesterday. She looks up and her eyes meet. I don't look away, and she turns pink before ducking away behind the machine, out of sight.
Huh. A weird girl.
Want to talk, ma'am? Though actually, no, I think fit. Safety save. Because technically, we have not made any choices yet. Which is the difference between visual novel and dating sim in my book. The longer it takes between actual choices. Turn my head around to look around the cafe, and a butterfly outside catches my attention, so I'll watch that instead. Flutters back and forth, landing on a flower and breasting its wings.
Miho!
Oh, my coffee's ready. Quickly get up and skip over to the counter. Cup in hand, she starts to head over to give it to me. But then, several things happen at once. Okay. Huh. One of the little tassels in the pocket of her apron catches on one of the drawers behind the counter. She jerks to a stop, eyes wide with surprise. And my drink tumbles out of her hand, landing on the counter with a wet gloop sound as the ice cream splats against it, sending mint green rivers of coffee everywhere. A few seconds pass where we just look at each other, neither of us quite sure what to do. And then she takes a deep breath.
I am so sorry. I'll make you a replacement right away. Just give me 1 second and I'll have that ready for you.
Her words spill out faster than the beverage, making it hard to even understand what she's saying. Ah, she's a klutz, she's shy. But, librarian. This game has two of my types and I have to make a choice, damn it. Her face is bright red as she spins back around and grabs another empty cup. Then she stops, hands hovering awkwardly.
Wait, I should clean this up before it dries and starts to go bad.
And that's why you should always have at least 2 people on staff. One to make sure things are actually happening, and a second in case an accident happens so one can keep working and the other one cleans. Obvious solution polycule? Oh, for sure. The question is that an option? It should be an option. But is it? Oof. That was a funny little like V bounce for the cleaning motion. Sherry's back to the mess, wiping at it with some napkins. She mops up as much of it as she can with one hand, then leaves the soggy paper on the counter while she starts to remake my drink.
I'm really sorry. This is such an embarrassment.
I don't even know if she's talking to me or to herself. I freeze up for a second, looking for an appropriate response to an apology. I'm not used to people apologizing to me.
Oh, it's fine. I'm not in a hurry.
Instead, I just sit back down at one of the tables and watch. Her? Or the outside? Nope. She makes the drink twice as fast, and then carries it very slowly to the counter, setting it down in a clean spot. Think about the scene Bioshifter where the CEO of the company, Hannah, works for her, shows up to interview her, and tells her to not use magic cleaning kitchen. So, you dick, why not use every tool at your disposal, goddammit? This time, she takes a deep breath before speaking, like she's afraid she's going to mess that up too.
All right. Here's your drink. Again, I'm very sorry. Oh.
Don't worry, that's less of a disaster than my life. Heh. Finger guns.
It's your first time here, isn't it? I hope it doesn't leave a bad impression. Second, actually. Yesterday was the first time. How'd you know? I make an effort to remember as many of our customers as I can, as well as their favorite orders. I believe you can learn a lot about a person from how they drink their coffee.
Sounds like one of those, not pithy things, or like one of those things people say but probably don't actually believe. You know, a fun little character quirk. Well, that's too bad for her. Guess she won't remember me at all next time, unless that's what the writing down in the book after taking your order was. Take a big sip of the drink she made for me. God, it's making me thirsty for it. It's creamy and rich and sweet all at the same time because it's chocolate mint.
Whoa, this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a milkshake, but not. But it's not like coffee either. Yes, exactly. I'm very glad that you like it. It's one of my favorite beverages that we serve. In fact, the recipe was my idea.
What was it called? Is the Fairy Kiss something? Or was it Pink Fairy Kiss?
Whoa! They should put you in charge of all the recipes.
She smiles again. Seems like she's gotten over the crisis of the spilled drink already.
Thank you. I'll make you another one of my favorites next time, if you'd like. Totally.
At least I'll know what to order next time, even though all have been forgotten. I'm already thinking of this place as my go-to coffee shop, especially since it's in a convenient area. With tasty drinks and cute baristas, I don't have a reason to go anywhere else. A knocking sound from the employee area gets both our attention.
Hey, Aspen, can you set another batch of croissants?
Aspen, that's a nice name.
Oh, sure. I'll be right there.
She calls back over her shoulder and then looks back at me briefly.
Have a nice day, Miho. You too.
Yeah, that looks like the end of the scene. Bring us saying Hannah's response is basically, I can make every surface cleaner that anything else can. Oh, make every surface cleaner, not making surface cleaners themselves. Got it. And regulations state that there should be 3 people per station. There's only 1. A few years ago, the handbook said it was 4. Ooh, Hannah fucking tell him. Oh wait, shit, I missed something again. With Wave, she gathers the trash from the cleanup, throws that away before disappearing into the back. So, her name is Aspen. Again, totally a normal, straight thing to think about when everyone forgets you after a day. I'm gonna remember their name, because it's not gonna be strange a total stranger can name you. That's a pretty name. I'll have to try and remember it. Again, see, totally a straight comment. Getting up from my seat, I decide to head back outside for some fresh air. Sipping my fairy kiss chiller as I go, head out the door and onto the increasingly busy main street. So it was chiller. Fairy kiss chiller. I already know my plans for tonight. I still got some time to kill before then. What should I do? Do I get to choose? Okay, we're at the first choice. There's a character here at Oriental Bay. There's another at Mount Victoria. I'm assuming that's what these mean. So here we will go ahead and... It's the easiest way to save is go here. Here to mark the first choice we can make. And thus a lot easier if I ever start another run either on stream or not. But man, that took the first 2 hours of stream. But we're finally to the consistent voice acting parts. Oh, there's also marking here. Interesting. I don't know who these characters are. Let's see. Does it say the time of the day? No. I'm assuming it's like middle of the day-ish. So let's go to the bay. Bay, let's go to the bay. Not far from where I am to the... Okay, so it's still morning. That's not far from where I am to the beach, so I decide to head down there. Passing through the city streets, I recognize some of this area from my first day here, when I was running from the Skyport guard.
Glad that guard chased me in this direction, or I'd have never found the Bell House.
Nice. Bringo, they make a deal. Hen doesn't get the best lawyer she can, and sue the lawyer, and she gets to use Refresh to clean things. I think it's a fair trade. It's like, if someone is already breaking rules about how employment should happen, they should allow the employees to break rules to keep things actually clean. Although she still had to use gloves, even though she can refresh her exoskeleton every few seconds. I say fair to that, because you can probably convince magical OSHA or FDA that the magic is good enough, but they'll probably still question where your hands have been. So I think that's a fair trade-off. You can use magic to clean, but wear gloves or they'll fucking get at us for that. So I've had to wear safety glasses despite nothing in the area I was working causing a risk of losing my eyes. It's just the way some places are. Better safe than sorry. And really, that's been the highlight of... The highlight of Wellington is the Bell House or being chased by the guard here? That's a serious question. When I get down to the beach, I take a moment to enjoy the salty sea air. From this level, it's impossible to tell where the ocean ends and where the open sky begins. I can see the skyport from where I am, with a few older ships anchored in the harbor close by. I'm admiring the view. A worried-looking lady comes up and waves for my attention. Oof.
Hi, I'm looking for my son. He's about this tall and wearing a red sweater. His name's Tommy. Have you seen him?
Nope. I haven't seen anyone like that. I just got here.
Okay, thanks.
She walks away in a hurry, looking right and left as she goes to ask someone else.
Humans sure do have it rough.
Since they can't smell or even hear most things, it's a wonder they don't get lost more often. The CEO demanded she stop under logic of, we really don't want to be the reason magic is regulated in the workplace, which, also fair, I guess. I amble along the waterfront, watching all the people as I go. Like Cuba Street, there's a lot going on. Under a nearby bridge, a group of 3 mermaids are racing each other. Close to the bridge are a bunch of people fishing, with a stressed-looking guy running back and forth between them. Next to a boarded-up market stall and some big crates, I noticed something weird. There's a fabled with a big flower on their head, and that spins like a propeller. They're using it to drift in a small circle above something near the crates. So fabled looks like some kind of like plant spirit type thing, unless there's a bunch of different like fabled. Heck, for all we know, Miho is also a fabled. We don't know how broad it is. But this, what's the flower? Orchid? I think this is like the petal arrangement for an orchid. Let's see. It's very nice, like design-wise. Good contrast between the darker purple and the pale white. I'd say 8 out of 10, and that's mostly because I don't know what fabled are at this moment. What? That is 1.5 Mr. Smell Food. What? Barango, are you okay? Are you having a stroke? Do you smell burnt toast? Is that what's going on? Or is that about something said here? No? Something else? Okay. I have to get a little concerned. It's like, wait, how did I not notice a weird detail what Barango did? Usually I'm the scroll up. Let's see. That is 1.5 messages. Oh, in chat? You talked about 2 comments that the spellcasting is new in that book. The response, of course, was that's a Pokemon. Did something get cut out of that? I'm not sure if anything messed up in chat. Put a new message over. Oh, like in the stream chat. Okay. I guess you were so fast that Twitch messed up or something. Certainly can't be due to me having too many people in chat for it to mess up. God, I don't think that's even happened on one of the friend-raising events I've participated in. Yeah, whatever the issue is, I don't think it's something I can fix. So, say la vie. But yeah, go get your dinner, enjoy. Yeah, you might be back, because we're here till 9, so that's another 45 minutes. So take care. I have to check it out, of course. Nobody else pays any attention to this little fabled circling a crate, apparently. Wander over and take a look. The fabled stops spinning as I approach and gives me a helpless look, but doesn't say anything. On the other side of the crates, out of sight from the path, there's a little boy sitting on the ground with his back to one of the wooden boxes.
Are you Tommy?
Kid jumps, totally surprised. Oops. Yeah, scrambles up and looks at me with wide eyes.
How'd you know? Your mom's looking for you. She seemed pretty worried.
His expression goes from surprise to sullen real quick.
I don't care. I don't want to go with you. Why not? here instead? 'Cause I'm hiding. Oh. Okay.
It's a pretty crummy hiding spot. I mean, it's totally open on 3 sides. I don't say that, though. Instead, I look up at the fable floating overhead. Looks almost as glum as Tommy. Oh, I didn't notice they're right there.
That's Jerby. You mean you can see him? I can. Is that weird? Mom and Dad can't see him. They think I'm just making him up. He doesn't talk, but he's real.
Chirpy waves from up high.
He kinda gave away your hiding spot. I saw him from the road. Mom can't see him, and that's all that matters. Why are you hiding from her? 'Cause.
Ah, right, 'cause. The go-to excuse in any kid's arsenal. Tommy sits back down and scratches at the dirt with a rock. Guess he doesn't want to talk about it. I'm always glad to end a conversation.
Well, good luck.
I start to walk away. He doesn't seem like he's in any danger, and I don't want to get blamed for him hiding in the first place.
Hey, wait a minute.
Almost. I turn around. He's already standing again.
Are you gonna go tell her where I am?
Before I can answer, his eyes get huge again.
Tommy, there you are.
Oh shit. I have to turn around again. Whiplash. This time it's the woman from before. She's already flying past me over to Tommy.
Are you okay? What were you doing? Don't you ever run off like that again. Oh, just glad you're safe though.
Her voice goes up and down between relieved and angry. She's Tommy a tight hug, but he's just staring forward grumpily. Kirby is flying in distressed circles again. Finally, the lady turns to me.
You found him, right? Thank you so much. I was so worried.
No problem.
I didn't really do anything. I did find him, but so did she. Guess she's not thinking about it much.
Come on, Tommy, let's go home. We'll talk about this there.
No, I'm not going. That's not home.
My ears flinch as he yells. He stamps his foot on the ground to make his point.
Tommy, sweetie.
Home is where it's you, me, and Dad. Not that apartment.
Oof. Divorce, I think.
That's still your home too. But this, it's like your second home now.
No, it isn't. Not without you, it's not. Do you and Dad really have to get it?
No, called it. Tommy, who is already sniffling, can't keep from breaking down and crying as he throws his arm around his mom and hugs her back. It's like, Tommy, sweetie, sorry. But Daddy likes boinking his... I can keep a straight face, implying that he's cheating on her with a secretary. Which is the first thought that comes to mind for why they're getting divorced. In that he's getting what sounds like primary custody with Dad, and she's getting to keep the home. Queef.
I don't want you to go.
I get the impression that I should probably leave. Normally I'm happy to be nosy and listen in on things, but right now seems kind of awkward. Neither of the humans notice me leave, but Gerby the Fabled sadly waves goodbye as I head off. I wonder what makes him stick around. I've never seen a Fabled like him before. Not being able to be seen by certain people sure sounds useful, though. I don't have to go far before the sounds of Tommy and his mom talking are drowned out by the noise of the waterfront. I easily fit into the crowd of people milling about. Being able to live a life that no one notices is close enough to being invisible. I'm pretty lucky that I don't ever have to have those kinds of tearful conversations or panic about someone missing. That feels like foreshadowing that at least one of those is going to happen in this story. No, being part of the crowd is just perfect for me. Stand at the concrete and admire the ocean till I've had my fill, and then I start wandering again. Okay. It's now the evening, and this person's still at Mount Victoria. I have plenty of time to kill, and also plenty of restless energy. I decided to go for a walk up Mount Victoria just to give myself something to do. Take a long way up this time instead of taking a bunch of shortcuts like usual. Winds through neighborhoods and then back out again with only the occasional car passing by on the street. Compared to some of the other cities I've been in lately, the air here is a lot cleaner. The smell of nature shines through. I can't compare to being out in the wild for real, of course, but it's nice not to be choking on exhaust fumes everywhere I go. The houses are weird, though. Many of them sit up on tall legs, like giant bugs with windows for eyes. More people seem to be coming down the mountain than going up it. Lots of them zip past on bikes or skateboards, while others are jogging or just walking.
This path is longer than I thought.
About halfway up or so, there's a wooden bench just off the sidewalk. It's occupied by a man with dark hair and big sunglasses. As I'm about to pass by, he waves.
Well, hello, miss. Nice evening for a walk, eh?
Huh? Is he talking to me? He must be, because there's no one else nearby. Chatting's not usually my thing, but for the moment I appreciate the distraction.
It sure is. I'm glad the rain's gone.
Oh, for now, yeah. It's never gone for long, though, is it?
That's so. I'm new here. I didn't even think it would rain since it was so sunny the day before.
Oh, you've got to watch out for that around here. Mother Nature's real fickle these days. 1 minute you're on the pier, enjoying the sunshine. Next minute, whoosh!
Makes a whoosh sound with his breath and a wavy motion with his hand.
Storm clouds, as far as the eye can see. That's just Welly for you, though. You live with the sunshine and the clouds. Where are you from, then? Guessing you're not a Kiwi.
Nah, I'm a fox, not a bird.
The man laughs, a deep belly laugh. Like usual, I'm not sure what I said that was funny.
Not like that. Although those little guys are cute. Kiwi is a word for us New Zealanders in general.
So it's a bird, a fruit, and people.
It sounds like she's writing a note, just like in a little notebook. It's just like kiwi equals bird, fruit, and also people.
You got it. All three are delightful. Anyway, welcome to Wellington. I hope you're enjoying your time here in our little city.
So far I am. I made my den here on the mountain. I've gotten coffee a few times, and I went to the library.
I conveniently leave out my plans for the next time I'm in the library.
Well, I can't say that's the usual tourist experience, but I'm happy to hear that it's working out for you. Staying long?
Probably. I decided to come live here, but I'm still getting to know the place. So, maybe I'll change my mind.
A true free spirit, eh? I I felt the same way when I first got here, long time ago. Didn't think I'd settle down for life, but here I am now. Lived more years here than everywhere else in my life.
It can't be that long. You don't look very old for a human.
No? Well, that's my ego boost for the day. You don't look very old for a fox either. But I imagine you've got a good head start on me.
That's true. I don't really keep track or think about it, though.
He laughs again.
Can't say I blame you there. I think 100 years, give or take a little on either side, is enough for me. I'm only halfway there, so I've got plenty more to look forward to.
He stands up, but has to do it slowly.
Sometimes I'm reminded of how many I've got under my belt already. Thank you for the chat, miss. I better get back to the water now and make sure young Min hasn't fallen into the ocean or anything. It's been a real pleasure talking with you, though. I hope you'll give our fair town a shot.
Thanks. It was nice talking to you, too.
And I actually mean that for once. He waves goodbye as he heads down some stone steps, and I keep heading upwards. I never really thought about my age compared to humans. Humans don't matter to my lifestyle. I wasn't lying when I said I don't know how old I am. It's never been important. Places, relationships, memories, they just tie people down. I want to be everywhere. When I reach the top of the mountain, I take a deep breath of crisp air. Wind blows my hair in every direction, I can't keep it out of my face. The wind is wild and goes where it wants. It doesn't answer to anyone. That's how I have lived my life too. A free spirit. That's what the man called me, and I like the sound of that. I can see the smudges of a few people down by the beach and on the pier. Is one of the man I just met? But there's no way to know. From up here, they're just tiny little blips, impossible to tell apart from each other. Once I've had my fill of the view, it's time to get on the way again. I turn my back on the people and start making my way down once more. Hey, that's me! Adorable. A quick save. Actually, we can do a proper full save too, because, again, no choices are made there. I have that just because I'm going to try and get a good screenshot of that area. Feels very fun for a thumbnail. Oh, close that. The moon is high in the sky. I decide it's time. It's the perfect kind of night for me. There's not much wind, and I'll be able to hear or smell anyone approaching. It's a little cloudy too, which gives me some cover from the moonlight. I'll make my way back up to the library, stopping as soon as I'm within sight of it. Find a shadowy place to hide and watch the front for a few minutes. Here's the question though. This is a thought I had. Not sure why. Is the librarian prince lady the bat that's appeared a few times? Because they could be. The cape could be like manifestation of the wing flap bits of the body. Heck, we don't even know if Miho, when she transforms, actually stores that stuff in her pockets, or only some stuff can stay with transformation. Like I hoped, nobody goes in or out. All the windows are dark too. It's just the bat kind of makes sense if she does librarian duties at night, you know? I slowly creep up towards the entrance, ready to transform and flee if I have to. Nothing happens. No one tries to stop me. Peek into one of the windows. It's dark inside and I can't see anyone at all. Perfect. Move around to the back side of the building and check those windows too. Same thing. Dark and empty.
This is gonna be too easy.
Back to the front door, I pick the lock and slip inside. I sneak from room to room, revisiting the items I memorized yesterday. Not expensive or fancy enough to think of them as treasures. End up leaving a lot of them alone, since I don't want to carry too much with me. The rest go into my coat pockets. Finally, I end up back at that painting in the corner. The piece that started this whole plan. I just set a couple things down on the floor, because the painting needs both hands for me to lift it. It is heavier than it looks, though it's not very big. It's probably a good sign for how much it'll be worth. Oh, wiggles. I have to jiggle it a couple times to get off the hook, but I manage. Tucking the painting under one arm, I pick up the other goods from the floor. This should be enough for one night. Best to get in and out quick. I start to head back to the front door where I came in. Before I get there, light floods the room. Oh hey, look! Someone's face is on the wall. I heard starts to race as I immediately prepare to run. Quick glance over my shoulder shows the one from last night standing atop the stairs. She does not look happy to see us. Ringo, you return. Perfect. The prince is back as we were about to leave with some ill-gotten goods. So, her eyes are glowing blue with anger. What's more meet cute than the second time you see someone, they're trying to rob you? She takes a step forward, not seeming to touch the stairs.
Leave that painting alone.
I've got to get out of here, now. Throwing caution to the wind, I clutch my spoils tight and charge for the door, trying to make myself as small a target as possible. The painting is too big for me to transform, I still hold on to it, so I've got to do this on two legs. Okay, so we've got limits of transformation. Larger objects do not go with us. And we do bring our clothes, so unless those are being magically made by transformation, it has to be larger than the bundle of clothes. Got it.
Stop, please.
I don't stop. Just like my arrival here with the guards at the skyport, the thrill of being chased is already taking over. It's exciting and scary at the same time, but either way it spurs me to move faster. Using my shoulder, I crash out the front door and into the night. Run as quickly as I can, keeping an eye out for patches of slick mud or puddles of water. The path I take goes far past Mount Victoria and my den, ending up in a small residential area. I stash the painting under a parked car and then take my fox form and crawl under a house, upsetting a mean gray cat who was already hiding there. Makes a low growling sound and I glare at it, desperately willing it to be silent before it gives away my position. I growl back as best I can, and that seems to scare it into shutting up. I'm not sure if I was being followed or not, but I don't want to take any chances. After 10 minutes or so, I climb out, pick up my loot, sneak back towards my den. Now that the excitement is worn off, I just can't keep a smile off my face. Nothing more satisfying than pulling off a heist, even one as easy as this. Other thieves I've heard about must have had it rough. Having to stake out a place for a long time, trying really hard not to get caught and making sure not to be seen. Why did she do that? Well, it's what she's always done from the sound of it. I've never done much planning. I just do whatever feels right. My ability to transform makes it pretty hard to catch me, although I have had to leave behind the stuff I was taking once or twice. And honestly, it would get boring if I never get caught and had to run. My good mood lasts me all the way home, and then disappears completely when I see who's waiting for me. I think that confirms she is the Bat. The woman in white. She stands just outside my den, looking like she doesn't care at all about the cold or the mud. In fact, her perfect clothes don't seem to get dirty at all. With her back turned to me, she's staring up at the moon. But she faces me as I approach. She has that same calm presence as when I first saw her. I can see a mournful look in her eyes, which have gone back to brown instead of furious blue. Is she a vampire? Who knows if those are even a thing here? Could be. There are mermaids. But maybe mermaids are just the part fish people, similar to Miho being a part fox. My heart quickens almost suffocatingly as she watches me intently. I know how quickly calm can turn into anger. I should run, but I can't look away.
How did you find me here? Before I even got back?
A friend of mine told me you might be found here.
Okay, she might be a vampire. Or she's in the, like, little bird told me when no one told me. I just happened over here. But I think that is a point in the vampire direction. Her voice is soft and warm, unlike the way she shouted back at the library.
A friend.
But who? I wasn't followed, I'm sure of that much. The shock of being found wearing off, the realization I'll need to find a new place to stay sets in. After all that work, too.
I apologize for showing up uninvited. I'm here to ask that you please return that painting to me. You may keep the frame if you like, but the painting itself is very dear to me.
I look down at the portrait. I've been carrying it for a while now, but I hadn't given the picture itself much thought. It's a beautiful painting, and clearly very old. The girl shown in it is wearing a long, flowing dress, looked down with a small smile.
And also,
She breathes out slowly and my eyes narrow. It's a sound people make when they're acting calm, but they're angry.
should you want it, I have an extra room available in my library, with a soft bed and a warm meal. You may stay as long as you wish.
Huh?
After I just tried to rob her, she's offering me a place to stay. When the painting showed up, you immediately thought about Carmilla. Vampire woman? Is that from a variation of the Dracula story or just unrelated vampire story? I'm not familiar with Carmilla, other than vampire connections. Okay, now I know this must be a trap. There's no fucking way. Although, older than Dracula? Ah, I see. Dracula's the knockoff of Carmilla. Good to know. It's the same thing she asked me last night, before I broke in. I'm sure she doesn't remember that.
Why?
Because I have more beds than I could possibly fill, and more food than I could eat.
That's it, chat. Absolutely vampire. More food than she can eat? Only possible she doesn't eat food. We got her. But no.
If there is someone who wants or needs them, is it not appropriate to share these with them?
I mean, in a just society, you are correct. In this situation, after, someone stole from the library and not even books, it does feel a little out of place, yes.
Is it?
I'm not sure what answers she wants to hear. She looks at me again, the same expression as it was at the library. Well, her offer does sound kind of tempting.
I guess it's not like my place is as nice as yours.
Not anymore, at least. After it rained and made half of it mud. I looked down at the painting again. If I sold it, it was just going to be so I could buy the same thing she's offering me. I still don't trust her. I've watched people enough to know better than that. There must be something she wants. But I don't think she wants to hurt me. She knows I don't have anything worth stealing. If she did try to pull something, I could just run away. It's only one night. I can come back and try again, or find someplace else to take from. I look down the burrow past where she's standing. It looks less like a den and more like a pile of mud. The thought of sleeping there again practically makes the decision for me. Carmilla turns into a cat, gets into a somewhat confusing relationship with her prey, and there's a relevant painting. Then maybe it is referencing Carmilla to some lesser degree. I mean, it is a lesbian-only route visual novel, so...
Fine, I'll take it.
She breathes out slowly again and smiles. Maybe that sound doesn't mean she's angry?
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it. I should introduce myself properly. My name is Juliet. May I ask what yours is?
Librarian or no, the name being, like, blatant literary reference, like one of the famous names, even if you don't read much. I am starting to get tempted toward the barista and whatever her story is. Something tied to books, because the first time we saw her was in the library. So I'm interested in how.
Miho.
I've had to introduce myself twice in a day now. That has to be a new record.
Well, Miho, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Let's return to the library. I can carry the painting if you'd like, or you may hold on to it until we get there.
I shrug.
Here, feel free.
She receives it very gently, and I quickly fall in beside her as we begin to walk back. To my relief, she doesn't try to make any conversation. Instead, she silently cradles the painting as we go. Of course, the painting has a suspicious resemblance to the young Carmilla, despite depicting Baroness Millarca, unless it was Mircalla, who supposedly lived in the same castle centuries earlier. Well, let's take a look at here. If they did the same Alucard BS of Dracula, letters rearranged, that does look like all the same letters as Carmilla, which would be a very blatant ripoff that Dracula did, having come later. Good lord. And they even did the simpler version of just names spelled backwards instead of full rearranging. Wow. Shameless. Oh wait, I don't think I read that last thing. When we get back to the library, the lights are off and the door is still unlocked. After setting the painting down on the desk, Juliet gestures towards the stairs.
It's on the second floor.
I follow her lead again until she stops at one of the closed doors. She unlocks it and lets me in. The room is simple and cozy with a couple dressers, a table, and a bed. Over the bed there's a boxy window with a wide sill big enough to sit on. Oh, I fucking want this! I'm even okay with the slanted roof stuff like that, even if it does limit what I can, like, hang in the room. Like, I don't want to really be able to put paintings on this wall here, because that feels too low. Bring it to be fair, there doesn't seem to be much in common beyond vampire turns into animal and eats women. I mean, yeah, but I'm also changing the name over centuries or whatever to hide their identity by rearranging letters and name feels like a very distinct thing. That's like if Palworld made an electric rodent that just looked like palette swapped Pikachu, but you could also get a special breeding thing to get a Pichu, and you need a stone to evolve it into something looking like a Raichu. It's like, that's too on the nose. Special stone evolution, a pre-evolution that have to have a specific item to get, is like, nah. That's a little BS there. That's a little, it's like, you can copy my homework, but make sure you change enough so the teacher doesn't know kind of bullshit. Which they might do. Might have done. Or whatever. I don't play Palworld. On the table, there's a cheese sandwich and a few apple slices, plus some sort of cake. There's also a pitcher of... Okay. So, does she have servants? Or had she been expecting us to come back for one reason or another and prep this before noticing us escape? Heck, did she do this after noticing we had snuck in? It's like, you know what'll make this deal seem sweet? If I look like I was expecting her. Dracula does the anagram pseudonym thing once for real estate purposes. Camilla uses 3 different names. I mean, nothing to say that the ripoff can't be inferior. But no, I get it. It's fine. It's more silly joke than being serious about it.
I hope the food is to your liking. 2 rooms down the hall from here, you'll find a refrigerator. And you may help yourself to anything in there.
It feels weird. And this like unrelated to the story. But it feels weird for something that is not like... Say, the house that I own has 2 apartments, and they're separated by one's first floor, the other's second floor. Outside of situations like that, it feels weird for a refrigerator to be anything other than the ground floor when possible. Like, I know it's a library, but who wants to carry a refrigerator up and down the stairs when you break or replace it, you know? Like, washer and dryer, I get. Those tend to be a little sturdier too, because they're not constantly active every second of the day, like a fridge is. Maybe even an oven, because again, not constantly being worked, constantly wearing out a little bit at a time. Extra points in favor of Juliet as vampire. Dracula pretends to have servants. That is true, but I have a feeling visual novel is not going to also give her super speed, well, enhanced speed at least. It has been a long time since I've read Dracula. Though if she starts climbing on the walls, I'll go, you know what, fuck it, she's a vampire, I accept it. Especially if it's described as a lizard-like manner.
My study is just past that. If you need anything, don't hesitate to come find me. Is there anything more I can bring for you?
Same thing for if she turns into a cat? Maybe. Shake my head, still in disbelief. What am I even supposed to say in a situation like this? I just stole from her, and now I have both a bed and food in return. As if to answer my confusion, she gives a calm smile. And it doesn't know. I can't remember. Is Dracula... Is one of the powers he has that's not, like, all vampire typical, like some measure of mind or emotion reading? Because I know there's some vampires have a level of that, but usually it's like after they fed upon a person, like it creates a psychic link.
Then I'll leave you to it. We can speak again in the morning. Good night, Miho.
There we go. The door shuts behind her, and I expect to hear Juliet lock it. But when I try the knob after giving her a few moments, the door opens quietly into the dark hall. Dracula does hypnotize Lucy. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't feel the same. It looked like the exchange between them, like Juliet was reading her mind or expectations to a degree. Hypnosis never really struck me as something that should be connected to, like, telepathy or telekinetic powers. It feels external in a different way. I don't know how to describe it. If, like, someone who could hypnotize then did some mob psycho type shit, I'd go, whoa, 2 power sets. Instead of, like, default to going, so yeah, they're both mind stuff, whatever. Juliet's nowhere to be seen. Pull the door back shut behind me and inspect the room, looking for any hidden threats. I also check the food, sniffing it to make sure there's no poison or anything. If there is, I can't smell it, so I take it instead. Fuck the iocane powder. I'll get through it.
Whoa. This is really good.
Fresh food does hit better. Well, different. Some food, I will admit, does need some aging. There's 3 different kinds of cheese in the sandwich, which is 2 more kinds than I knew existed. Whoa, hold up. She regularly steals, like, pre-made and individually sealed sandwiches. There's no way all of those are cheddar or what's the other common one? I think Colby Jack? And a lot of the time when I see a pre-made ham sandwich, it's with Swiss. So there's no way she only knew one type of cheese. In some case, she had like somehow the weirdest, like fortune. It's like, well, I'll always grab the exact same sandwich every time. The bread is soft and buttery. When I take a bite of the apple, juice rolls down my chin. Water that I wash it down with tastes better than the water by the stream. From the stream by my den. When I'm done eating, I climb into bed, still feeling overwhelmed. More specifically, not knowing how to feel. Part of me fears that I've made some gigantic mistake, that I'll wake up in danger, if I ever wake up at all. Trusting my instincts has kept me alive on multiple occasions and for hundreds of years. Enough that I've lost count of exactly how many. But something tells me I don't have anything to fear from the woman who I can only assume is my host and the owner of this place. So with that in mind, I pull blankets up to my chin and adjust the luxurious pillows beneath my bed. Who knows? Maybe the morning will bring trouble with it. But right now, just sleeping sounds alright. I wake up to the sound of birds chirping loudly outside, blinking warily, prop myself up and look towards the warm sunlight beaming through the window. The sheets under my hand feel soft and dry. My hand goes to my neck, taking the smooth familiarity of my necklace.
It's still here.
Someone's gonna rob me. That's the only thing I have that would seem valuable. I sit up and look around. It doesn't look like anyone came in while I was asleep. Maybe I really am safe here. I wonder if Juliet's friend was a scent I noticed outside my den on the first morning. I don't know how else she could have found me, or how they did it without waking me up. If it happened before, it could happen again, as much as I hate to admit it. So I check around the room very thoroughly, but still don't notice anything different from when I went to bed. Bram says, Carmilla was an influence on Bram Stoker. We got him. But no, that was also...
Maybe it's not a
But
trick.
the major reason I wasn't taking the stealing idea seriously is because kind of like taking in and remixing stories is a thing that's been around a lot longer than nowadays with IP law. Like, the most surprising thing about the Grimm's brothers collecting all those fairy tales was the fact that they collected them. Like, the oral tradition was a very important thing of stories, about how different storytellers could emphasize or describe different moments. And it's actually one of the reasons I'm really enjoying Akane Banashi, the whole Rakugo-based story manga, because that's like the huge thing of it. It's like different... I'm blanking on the term. Different workshops of ideas, so to speak, specialize in presenting their stories in particular ways, and you're expected to present the story in an expected way to your master before you perform it on stage, and it's something you don't really see too much nowadays. Now, especially with the fucking mouse having forced IP law to extend how long copyright protection happens, the fucking rodent. But yeah, I'm not totally bitter about that. Don't read too much into it. Actually, they were bitter as hell, but also don't mention it. Yeah, maybe it's not a trick. All my past experiences have told me that there has to be a catch. That nothing is free. Nothing. But no matter how hard I try, I can't figure out what it could be. Could Juliet really have been telling the truth? It just seems so unlikely. It'd be nice if it was true. But if it wasn't, if I let myself believe, only be wrong in the end, then that would hurt me even more, wouldn't it? No, better to not even take the risk. After all, I've lived a lot of years this way. It's not like I hate it. Make my mind up helps me feel better right away, too. It just makes more sense. Even if I try to stay, I don't think I'd ever stop worrying. This way, I'll know for sure that I'm in charge of my own destiny. Aha, yes. Isn't that a familiar train of thought? If I live in a really shitty way, but it's because I don't try to get better, I don't risk the betterness only staying for a little bit, then it's fine. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't that might actually be as good as promised. Oof. Now that I know this room is unoccupied, I might be able to sneak back in sometimes when I need a place to stay. It won't be too hard to climb one of the trees and then get to the window from there. Take one last look around. For just a night, it was a nice what if. And I head downstairs and out the door without speaking a word to anyone. It's another nice day. Same as when I first arrived in Wellington. Warm sun, blue skies with just into clouds. And with that, actually, I think this is actually a good stopping point. Because not only is this a great moment to, come back in for a recap, I do like this music as well. Still no major choices made, so we're just going to save over that same slot. But yeah, thank you for joining me, Barango, and any lurkers that might be there. Little Mouse. Spanish censors let Carmilla through when it was published, apparently not noticing that it was a lesbian romance. To reiterate what you said, Barango, lol and Lamau at that. But let's see who is currently on. I'm not updating Firefox. Quit that shit out until they go, you know what, AI was a mistake, ripping it out of every fucking browser. Okay. Oh, right, I should go to the BRB screen before I forget. There we go. Oh, frick. I forgot to swap to the transition that is timed perfectly, even though I don't know what update ruined it. But whatever. Who is... Oh, that's not someone I follow. That's just a recommended. I was wondering, who this fucking VTuber on the start stream for Twitch was. Let's see. Ooh, not too many people I follow currently on. So I'm playing Doom. Clement's doing the birthday week. Oh, mystery is... Wait, is they're not showing up on mine at all. One sec. Maybe they just haven't updated yours, but I'm gonna check the hard way. Specifically their page. Why were they not on my currently... What was going on? I'm still marked as following. That's... Don't like that. No, I think I'll chill in Rocket Stream separately. We'll send the raid to someone else, because we did just raid them last week. I think Mystery Cryptid, they're doing a charity stream, yeah. Let's rearrange windows. Okay, window you could. Okay, there it is, properly loading for me. Yeah, it looks like the middle of a game show, but it's fine. Alright, here we go. / read. Alright, as always, my wonderful tome readers, if you are eating enough, drinking enough, getting enough sleep, take care of your body so your body can take care of you. I think raid message. What a Yuriful morning. Because, you know, it's such a Yuriful visual novel. We ended on a beautiful morning, so we'll just combine those together. Let's see, tomorrow we have another, was it 4 to 8 of Nuzlocke, which this might be the day where we have to restart. Or we might continue on and get our 3rd badge. Who's to say? We can't tell yet. It's been rough going. We've been getting wins and we've been getting losses. And too many times we've been losing the mons we just get. But I'm hoping that stream comes to an end soon. Because, God, we're really limited on types, if nothing else. But we'll set over now. I'll see y'all on the other side.